Good evening everybody, Martin Beaty, Compton Royton Golf Club Head Professional. Now, due to popular demand, a lot of people have been asking about what I'm actually using in my bag. I've done quite a few reviews over the past few weeks on different drivers and so forth, but it's time for me to tell you what I'm going to be using for the 2017 season. So we'll start from the top. I've gone with the new 2017 Tailor-Made M1. The reason why I've gone for this over the M2 is because this year I find it's a lot lighter, because they put 30% more carbon in the crown. It comes out a little bit head light, which suits my swing, and I can feel the club get through the ball a lot better. Last season I used the M2 because it was lighter than the M1, even though the M1's have got more adjustability. But now this is lighter. It's exactly what I'm looking for in a driver. So this season the M1 is more like last year's M2. Again, I'm using a 10.5 loft. I'm not afraid of loft. Loft's my friend. I like to get the ball airborne. Diamana blue stiff shaft. Okay, so it's nice and user friendly. The settings that I've got it on there are actually on maximum fade because I like to hit the ball slightly left to right. My bad shot's a little toe hook, so that does counteract against that. And I've got the launch track right at the back there to increase launch. Okay, so it really is on its probably on its most forgiving settings. Okay, that's my driver, Tailor-Made M1. 3-wood, sticking with the Tailor-Made, I've gone with the M2. Now the M2, non-adjustable, it's a straight 15-degree head. Again, it's lighter because it's got 30% less carbon in the crown there. So what I've found by this is by a Tailor-Made have put more carbon and less weight in the crown, they're able then to extend the length of it, which gives you more forgiveness and ultimately a little bit better launch. Okay, so that's why I've gone for that one. Easy to get up off the deck. Again, the stock React shaft in it, just a stock stiff shaft. It really performs nicely and fits that number that I'm looking for. Okay, down from the 3-wood, Tailor-Made driver and 3-wood, now go to, I've kept my old trusty Rsi Udi iron. Now this was brought out a couple of years ago and they've stopped making it now, but it's a really nice driving iron. It's like got a really thick sort of sole there, so it's very, very easy to get up off the deck and in tight lies. I really find this useful when I'm playing sort of windy courses, link style golf and tight lies, things like that. I really feel I can shape the ball both ways very easily. With a hybrid club, on them sort of conditions, I tend to lose it in the wind a little bit. Too much spin gets it up too much in the air, but this keeps it down, really user friendly. Going back down, I've got the Tailor-Made Psi Iron. Now these are the Psi Irons from last year. Really love the feel of them. I've kept them in the bag this year. I love the technology in them. They've got the face slots in the face for ultimate forgiveness because, let's be right, we all get our money's worth out of our irons and I don't hit it out the middle all the time, so these face slots really help me. We've got the sole slot as well, the speed slot in the sole, which really does help the ball leave the club face fast, so I'm not losing any distance from those mishit shots. So 4-iron through to pitching wedge in the PSIs, and I've also kept the gap wedge uniform with my irons. A lot of people choose a sort of a speciality wedge, like I don't know, a Vokey or a TP wedge to go in their gap wedge section, but I've kept this uniform to my irons because I like my gap wedge to go like the feel of a full shot. So I like it to feel more like a pitching wedge or a 9-iron when I'm swinging it rather than a sand wedge or a lob wedge. So that's why I've chose my 50-degree gap wedge to be uniform with the PSI set. Moving on from there, sand wedge and lob wedge. Sticking with the Tailor-Made theme, I've got a 56-degree wedge there, but I've actually bent it in the loft lie to 55. That's because it makes an even gap in my scoring game. My pitching wedge is 45 degrees. The gap wedge, which I've just showed you, is 50 degrees. So I'm going to make it an even 5-yard gap between the gap wedge and my sand wedge. So that's 55, and I go up to the lob wedge, which is 60. So I've got straight 5-yard gaps. It really does help me control the distances in my scoring game. Very, very important that. Equally as important, watch the next video. Okay, watch the next video on gapping. Very, very important. It shows exactly why it's important to make sure that all your loft and lies are really tuned in for your scoring game. Okay, putter. I'll switch around between a couple of putters. I've got in the bag currently the brand new Odyssey O-Works, the 1-wide version. This is a slightly wider sole. It's the one that Danny Willett had success with last year. Excellent putter. Looks really good behind the ball with the Versa technology on top and the new micro hinge face. First time I looked at this face, I thought it's going to come off a little bit firm, this, because it's a little bit metallic and a little bit firm, but it's not. It's really, really soft. really gets the ball rolling nicely. That's because on these little dimples on the micro hinge face are slightly sort of it's slightly offset, slightly kinked out, which enables the ball to roll off the club face faster instead of skipping first. So that's what I've gone for at the minute. I'm really enjoying that. Okay, so that's my bag. The ball that I'm using currently at the minute is the Tailor-Made TP ball. I'm looking forward to the new TP5 coming. I'm going to put it up against this old TP in a test very soon, so look out for that video. Looking up for other content coming up soon as well. There's some great stuff coming up next few weeks. If you want to look at our videos, we release them on Wednesday at 5 and Friday at 5. Some good stuff coming up, club reviews, ball reviews, and also swing tips for both right and left-hand golfers. So if you're a left-hander, there's not much content out there for you at the minute, but there soon will be, so keep a check out on the channel. Don't forget to subscribe, please, to this channel. It's a free one. It really helps the cause. Watch the rest of the videos. Thanks for watching. See you soon.